So now we're looking at Triadique by Lynn Freeman Olson. This is how it sounds at performance tempo. Okay. So a fun piece, you can work it up to that tempo or something close, or you can play it at a slower tempo. It'll be perfectly fine. So let's take a look at the left hand first. First of all, notice how it's indicates the articulation detached. So you're going to actually treat all of this as staccato except for the half notes. All right. So the only notes that will be longer are going to be the half notes in the right hand here and here and here. Everything else is staccato. So the left hand, if you look at the very beginning, just alternates between C and G. So that's easy. Try that with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 with the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we do that for 4 bars. And then the next 4 bars goes to D position here. Okay, so the first 4 bars are C, G. Then it goes up a whole step to D, A, just like that. Try that with me. Ready and play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the first 8 measures of the left hand. Really simple. And then if we skip all the way down to measure 17, notice how he gives us the C, G again. This time just for 2 bars. And then the D, A again for just 2 bars. So let's try that. This is bar 17, left hand. C, G, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shift up and D, A, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so you almost know the entire left hand. Let's take a look to see what happens on bar 9 in the left hand. That's this section right over here. Notice it just repeats the G. There is an accent at the beginnings of bar 9 and 11 and 13, as well as the downbeat of 16. So we're going to play those G's louder than the others. Let's try this left hand. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, accent. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, accent. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Crescendo. 3, 4, accent. And if we look at the last 4 measures of the left hand, he does something very similar. We have a lot of G's, then we have a couple accents here and here, and then he actually ends on a C with an accent. Let's try the last 4 bars of the left hand. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, accent. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just make sure the rhythm is correct in the last 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. So that's the entirety of the left hand. Let's try the whole left hand. Here we go. From the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Shift up to D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now G. 1, 2, accent. 3, 4, accent. 1, 2, 3, accent. 4, 2, back to C. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shift up to D. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest to back to G. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, accent. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, C. And that's the left hand. Get comfortable with that first. And now let's take a look at the right hand. I'll go ahead and delete all of my left hand markings here. All right. So if we look at the right hand, we can see that the entire piece is comprised of triads, hence the name Triadique. So if we take a look at the beginning here, the whole right hand is just going to be 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. We're never going to use a different fingering. So always 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, all the way through. Okay? So what we're really looking for is what note is our thumb on. So in the first one, there are no black keys. So you can just think, okay, the root here is a C, then the root is a D, then the root is an E, then the root is back to D, then back to C, and then up an octave to C again. So it's just C, D, E, D, C, C, like that. Try playing that. Notice how I'm just using my thumb first. So thumb only on C, D, E, D, C, C, like that. Try that. C, D, E, D, C, C. So you're just memorizing the roots of the chords. And this is going to teach you to think in the phrase rather than individual notes. Once you get comfortable with that, let's do it in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And then you can work that until you can do it pretty fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you're comfortable like that, we can introduce the triads. Here's the thing, even though you're playing the triads, only think about the bottom note. Okay, so I'm still thinking the bottom note. Here we go, let's try it. 1, C, 3, D, 1, E, 3, D, 1, C, shift, C. Just like that. Let's do that again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, D, 1, E, 3, D, 1, C, 2, C. Okay? And then you want to just repeat that until you're getting pretty fast. Until you can do about this tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the first section right there. So that's how you practice it. Key is do enough repetition that this feels really, really easy. Then go to the next section here. This next section goes to the key of D major. Okay? Well, D major has two sharps, F sharp and C sharp. So we actually have those sharps to contend with. Okay? So the next one, let's look at the roots of the chords. We have D, E, F sharp, E, D, up an octave, D. It's exactly the same as the first four measures. It's just shifted up to the key of D. It's transposed. So notice how it's the same scale degrees. Okay, so now think about your D major scale. So your thumb is on D, then E, then F sharp, back to E, back to D, up an octave, D, just like that. So we have D, E, F sharp, E, D, D. Do that with your thumb until it's very comfortable. When you can play it about this fast, okay, then we can add the triads. Now for the 1 chord, you're going to have an F sharp. 2 chord is all white keys. The 3 chord has an F sharp, A, and C sharp. And back to the 2 chord, E minor, and back to the 1 chord, D, F sharp, A. And then up an octave. Okay? So you just want to do this slowly until you're comfortable. Just do that a lot. You can pause the video, and then when you're ready, try it with me in time. We'll start slow. 1, D, 2, E minor, 1, F sharp minor, 2, E minor, 1, D, up an octave. Okay, get comfortable with that, and then just review that until you can go pretty fast about this tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It will actually not take you very long to get to that point of adeptness, okay? So just make sure that you drill it until it's super comfortable. Now before we go to the next section, I like to kind of work in patterns, right? So let's take a look at bar 17, because this is when the pattern repeats again. We're back to the key of C here, but notice at this time, we only play the first part of the pattern, C, D, E, D. We don't do the octave section, right? So let's try that in time. Measure 17 and 18. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can do that a few times. Then we have a bar of rest. And then we go to D major. Same idea here. D, E minor, F sharp minor, and back to E minor. And notice how it's exactly the same as what we did on bar 5 through 8. So let's try this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And get really comfortable with that. Right, so now we almost have the entire piece. Once you get comfortable with that, the rest of it is pretty easy. So now let's take a look here on bar, let's see, this is bar 9. Measure 9 right here. So on measure 9, the right hand is just white keys again. But now let's identify the roots of the chords here. So we have G, E, C, A, C, A, F, D. Now, what do these all have in common? Well, they're all shifting a distance of a third. G to E is a third. E to C is a third. C to A is a third. A to C is a third. These are all thirds. Okay. So, again, we're just going to use our thumbs starting on G. So we go from G down a third to E, down a third to C, down a third to A. Let's just do those two bars. So G, E, C, A, G, E, C, A. Get to where you can just play it like that. G, E, C, A. G, E, C, A. And you can even say that. Once you're comfortable with that, try the next one, which goes back to C, then down a third to A, down a third to F, and down a third to D. And then you can try that. C, A, F, D. C, A, F, D. So the first one starts on G. The second one starts on C. So now try them together. Just a thumb on the roots of the chords. Here we go. G, E, C, A, back to C. A, F, D. Once again, here we go. G, E, C, A, C, A, F, D. When you're comfortable with that, you can add the triad. Just white keys, 1, 3, 5. Still, just think about your thumb. That's what you want to concentrate on. Here we go. G, E, C, A, C, A, F, D. Once again. Here we go. G, E, C, A, C, A, F, D. And now we can do it in time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, G, 3, E, 1, C, 3, A, 1, C, 3, A, 1, F, 3, D. All right. Now, that's almost the whole thing. Let's take a look at the last 4 measures because we have something very similar again. Notice what we have here. It goes back to the same idea, C, A, F, D. Well, that's exactly what we just did. C, A, F, D. So that's bars 23 and 24. Then he goes to A and then up a third to C. That's how it ends. So there is the interval of a fifth here between the D and the A. So let's try that now, just with the thumbs first. So we have C, A, F, D, then up to A, and then up to C. Here we go. 3, 4, 1. C, down to A, 1, F, down to D, up to A, 3, 4, and C. Now, very important, that last C is the only time in this whole piece that the right hand actually plays on the downbeat. The rest of this song, the right hand is playing on the offbeats, beats 2 and 4. All right, so that's the only time it plays on the downbeat. Okay, now we can try the last 4 bars with the triads. Again, still think about your thumb. Ready, and 1. C, 3, A, 1, F, 3, D, 1, A, up to C. Okay? All right, this leaves just 4 more measures, measures 13 through 16 in the right hand. So let's analyze to see what's happening here. So if we look at, okay, this measure here, we'll notice it starts with an F major triad. Then what does it do? It goes to F minor by lowering the third. Then G major, then G minor, then A major, then A minor, and then up to a random D minor here, okay? Also, we're going from F up a step to G up a step to A, which is the dominant of D, which is why we end up on D. Okay, so let's do this. This is really easy. F major triad, then turn it to minor by lowering the third. Go up a whole step to G major, make it G minor. Up a whole step to A major, make it A minor, and jump up to D, because A is the 5 of D. Okay, so we have F major, F minor, G major, G minor, A major, A minor, D minor. Once you're comfortable with that, we can try it in time. Here we go. And 1, F, 3, minor, 1, G, 3, minor, 1, A, 3, minor, 1, D. Okay? And get to where you can do that faster. Now that we have that, we can actually put the whole right hand together. Here we go, from the beginning. 1, 2, here we go. 1, C, 3, D, 1, E, 3, D, 1, C, up an octave, rest, 2, shift to D, 1, D, 3, E, 1, F sharp, 3, E, 1, D, 3, D, now go up to G, 2, 3, 4, 1, G, down a third, down a third, down a third, C, 1, A, 1, F, D, back to F, major, F, minor, G, major, G, minor, A, major, A, minor, D, minor, back to C, 1, C, 3, D, 1, E, 3, D, rest, to D major, 1, D, 3, E, 1, F sharp, 3, E, shift, up to C, 1, C down a third, A down a third, F down a third, D up a fifth, A, now to C. So that's the right hand, okay? Drill that until you're really comfortable, and then you'll be ready to put this together. When you're putting together, do it by section, okay? So let me go ahead and erase this and show you the sections you should work on. We'll start off with the first 4 measures here. I guess I'll just highlight it. Start off with the first 4 measures as a section. The next 4 measures will be a section. Then the next 4 measures will be a section. Then the next 4 measures will be a section. And then the next 4 measures, or actually the next 3 measures, oops, wrong color. Let's do a highlighter. next 3 measures, and then the very ending. Let's do this in green. So those are the sections that you'll be practicing hands together. Okay? All right, let's try the very first 4 bars. Here we go. So notice the right hand's always playing when the left hand's playing the G, the thumb. Okay? They coincide always. So it's going to be always 1, play, 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 like that. Let's try it slowly. Here we go. 1, C, D, E, D, C, up an octave, C, rest, 2, 3, 4. And you want to drill each section until you can get pretty fast. So you want to get to about this speed, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to do the same for the next section. Let's try it. Here we go. 1, D, 3, E, 1, F sharp, 1, E, D, up an octave, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, work that up in tempo until you can play at this speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The next section is pretty easy. The left hand is just going to repeat G the entire time. Okay, let's try it slowly. And this is the part that has G, E, C, A, F, D in the right hand. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, E, C, A, back to C, C, A, F, D. So that's a section. Work that up in tempo. And then the next section, this is the F major, F minor, G major, A minor, D section. Let's try it. Slowly and 1, F minor, G minor, A minor, D. Okay, work that up in tempo. And then bar 17, we're back down to C, D, E, D, C. Here we go. Ready, and 1, C, D, E, D. Then we go to D. Ready, and 1, D, E, F sharp, E. And then you get to the end, the left hand repeats G. And then the right hand plays C, A, F, D, A, C. Let's try this. Slowly and 1, C, down to A, down a third to F, D, back to A, 2, 3, up to C, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's how it goes. So try to aim for at least a tempo like this for the whole piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now to D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now to G. 1, G, E, C, A, C, A, F, D, F, minor, G, minor, A, minor, D, back to C, C, D, E, D, rest, 2, now to D, 1, D, E, F sharp, E, rest, 2, then to C, C,